Okay, welcome today. Welcome to day 27. Today is a little bit of an unusual day. My friends who came to hike with me decided that overnight is not their thing. So what they're doing, they're slack packing me the first 5 miles of the day, which is about half the climb up Macaffee Knob. So I'm hiking without pack. And then we're going to meet there and we're going to hike Macaffee Knob together. And then they're going to sorry, I'm having trouble with my face tracking. They're going to hike with me up Macaffee Knob and then go back to the car and come home. The overnight stuff didn't work out so well for them. So anyway, it's an opportunity to rest a little bit. My legs, even though yesterday was a short mileage day, right around the 8-mile mark, maybe a little less even than that, I don't know, on trail. It was tough. It was a hard 8 miles. I would rather go 10 on better trail, but today is the first day that my legs have been sore after hiking, and it was so many ups and downs, and especially the down was hard, and so it's just it's nice to have a little day to have a little recovery. So let me show you what I'm looking at here. Crossing the stream here. It's kind of gentle and rolling here as we go up the trail here, and then it's going to gradually pick up elevation. But I remember this before. It's kind of, this section right here is really beautiful. At some point here we're going to come out into a pasture field and hike a little bit. This morning it is, let me check the temperature. It's a little chilly. It's 49. But now that I'm on trail and gotten hiking, I've got about the right amount of stuff on. Don't want too much to sweat and don't want too little to be chilly. If I got, the sun looks like it's going to come up here and burn off some clouds, and I think it'll be an excellent hiking day. Since today is Sunday, I'm sure there will be crowds of people on Macaffee Knob, one of the most popular spots in all of Virginia on the AT. My plan for today is to hike at least a mile past Macaffee Knob to camp. If I've got enough juice in the legs, I might try to make this a longer day. It's the treadway from there to the next shelter is I think it's pretty good, and it's generally downhill, so I might try to stretch it. I would like to meet Mrs. Grayson tomorrow night in Daleville, and the reality is there's 25 miles between where I started and where I want to be, and I know the final section into Daleville has some challenging terrain, so if I could knock off some easy terrain and get me a little closer to have a 10-mile day tomorrow, that's what I'll do. So I'm just gonna play it by ear. I've been getting into camp pretty early in the evenings. Even yesterday evening we got in pretty early with a late start, but it would be nice to get the miles knocked out. I don't know, maybe it's a pride thing, but I've been talking with other through hikers, and it seems like the formula is not hiking faster, but hiking longer. Maybe hiking slower and hiking longer. So that's kind of, got to experiment with that. I really would like to make Daleville. I don't want to make it 2 days, because if I make it 2 days, then I'm going to have a short mileage day in there somewhere, and I really just need to keep putting some miles in. They don't hike themselves, and so I know you can get too focused on miles and miss your goal and burn yourself out, but it's kind of nice every now and then to do something that pushes yourself a little bit. Although I would say I was pushed a little bit going up and over Dragon's Tooth yesterday. So we'll just see how the legs respond. I'm trying even slack packing, I'm trying not to work too hard, to use this as somewhat of a little rest. And so that's kind of where we're at today. This section of trail that we're in is known as, there are three kind of landmarks that are called the Virginia Triple Crown, and they are the most visited. It's the most visited section of trail in all of Virginia. And some even say that Macaffee Knob is the most visited point on the AT. They just get up and give you amazing views. And so yesterday we did Dragon's Tooth, which is number 1. Today I will do Macaffee Knob, and that will be number 2. And then down the trail about 8 miles from Macaffee Knob is something called Tinker Cliffs. Probably the hardest one to get to, because it's an 8-mile hike one way, I think, and it's like a 14-mile hike the other way. So it doesn't get near the traffic. It shows you about the same views that Macaffee Knob does, but just in a different format. You're kind of hiking along the edge of some fairly sheer cliffs, and you get to see a view for a good while when the weather is good. So looking forward to knocking off the Virginia Triple Crown again. This is, in some ways it's a little comfortable because I've done this trail before. I mean, I have some impressions of it, so I know a little bit what to expect. Like, I know that once we get to the Macaffee Knob parking lot, that the climb up to Macaffee Knob is nothing to sneeze at. It's not going to be a huge elevation gain from there, but it's still, with a full pack, it's going to be a little bit of a deal. I'm carrying too much food, and food is heavy, and so I need 3 days of food, and I have 4.5, probably close to 5. Part of that was I was nervous about whether I was going to get a resupply here, and so I carried an extra day of food just in case that didn't show up, so I could get to town and get it. And then at the hostel last night, unexpectedly, they had supper and they had breakfast on a donation basis, and so I ate real cooking. I did eat some stuff out of my pack to pump some more calories, but so those 2 meals are still in my pack. So it's a hard thing to get it just right. You don't want to totally be out of food, but day's food is roughly 2 pounds. So if I've got a day and a half, I got 3 pounds in my pack that I don't need to be carrying when I get it back on, which is kind of a drag. And then you add, I generally carry 2 liters of water to start a day, 1 liter with electrolytes in it and 1 liter just plain, and that will usually carry me through 8-10 miles, no problem. But that's 4 pounds, so it's all weight and it all adds to effort. Okay, here we go. We got a gate. Evidently we're changing over to a pasture field that I remember up here, so I don't want the cows to get out or whatever. Well, this one doesn't even have a latch on it, so I'm not quite sure what the deal is. Anyway, so much for my ramblings this morning. Like I said, it's a beautiful day. It was a cool night last night, but not cold. I slept, you can see on the video from yesterday, I slept in a barn last night all by myself, which was kind of nice. I didn't have to worry about other people in the bunkhouse, and I didn't have to worry about disturbing people getting up and down to the bathroom in the night. And believe it or not, I worked on some videos, but I couldn't upload them. So videos will come. Anyway, I'll take you along with me on day 27. Hopefully you'll be able to see it here in a little bit, but I've been hiking through these fields. Most of them had cattle in it, and we have these streams here, and people would say, well, you've got plenty of water. Sort of a rule of thumb that you can drink water that's drained out of a cattle field, but cattle carry a lot of E. coli, which causes diarrhea. So technically I think filtering should take care of it, but you would, in this case, if I was going to drink water from that stream, I would filter it and treat it chemically. I can't think of anything much worse than diarrhea on the trail. So anyway, just a little heads up. It's the little things you don't think about. Like I may have said this in a previous video. When I grew up hiking up in Shenandoah National Park, we'd just dip our cup in the stream and drink. And while a lot of water sources, that's probably safe, especially up there at the top of mountains, you never know what's upstream from your water. So keep that in mind. Cows are good to eat, but they are not your friend as far as water quality. Okay, so give you an update for the day. Met Sam and Abe at the parking lot. Now have a pack. We're headed up Macaffee Knob. They've agreed to do me another solid. Abe is carrying my food bag, which is probably 8 pounds. So give me a bunch of advantages today. It's very welcome. So we are headed up Macaffee Knob. The hike up from Catawba was a little rougher than I remembered it, but it's all cool. I'll show you a little bit what we got going on here. We got some ups and downs going on. We have, all told, the guide says you have to gain 1,500 feet of elevation to get over Macaffee Knob, so significant. I think I've already got 1,000 feet of elevation gain in, but without a pack, so that's kind of the way it is. So let me see if you can see Abe and Sam behind me here. Anyway, big thanks to them. Okay, so here's the payoff for climbing a long climb. I'm up here at Macaffee Knob, and this view out across here is just amazing. It just goes on forever and ever and ever. It's really gorgeous. There's the rock up there where people are hanging off of. That's a traditional photo on the Appalachian Trail. So we're done climbing for today, I believe, but this is the payoff. Okay, so tonight I'm going to give you a overview of a new tarp pitch that I'm doing over my hammock. This is called porch mode, where the one side is open way up and you can see out. Still provides gobs of rain protection, but it also gives me plenty of room to spread out underneath that protection. So I'm kind of proud of myself for trying this out. Tonight it's not really calling for any bad weather. Otherwise I might batten it down a little bit more, but the wind comes from the other side, and that's the side I pitched pretty low to the ground, and then I will be able to just look out here and see what's going on and have a little bit more headroom to move around inside the tarp. So I wanted to give you a little different view for wrap up, but the lighting here is not so great, so this is the best we can do. So I'm sitting here in my tarp in porch mode, which I think I'm really going to like. And today hiked about 11 miles, and 5 miles of that was slackpack by Sam and Abe, and then 4 miles of that they carried my food and I carried my pack, so they kind of gave me a break today. All in all, I gained about 3,000 feet altitude, and I felt like I worked pretty hard. So I wanted to go farther. I had more gas in the tank, but I'm in a section of trail where they only allow camping at designated spots. And so I'm at a designated spot at 11 miles, and the next designated spot is about 7 or 8 miles with another 1,100 feet of elevation gain. So I would have to go up and over another ridge to do that, and I don't think I got enough gas in the tank for that. So I decided to stop here, May try to do a 15 tomorrow into Daleville. I've done this section before and I've done that, but it was a hard slog. So I'm going to have to make a call about noon about what I'm going to do. I'm either going to hike to the next shelter, which is 6-7 miles, and hunker down, or I'm going to take a break, fuel up, and I'm going to try to go into town. There aren't a lot of large climbs. That 1,100-foot climb is the biggest one, but there are a lot of little bumps up and down. And then I know there's a section that gets 3 or 4 miles is pretty rocky and craggy, although I'm getting better at negotiating those as my legs get stronger. Today was the first day I've been on trail that my legs have been sore, and that is simply from going up and over Dragon's Tooth and coming down the other side. And so I think there's a little bit of lag for that, even though that was only an 8-mile day. It was 8 hard miles. And so as much as I'd like to not give myself a break and move on, I'd like to go about 3 more miles is what I'd love to do. And there is a place would be probably pretty nice to camp, and no water. I'd have to carry water, and then if somebody came through, a ridge runner or somebody, and I was camping and not in a designated spot, I'd be in trouble. And I don't want to be that guy that's disregarding the rules. So, all in all, it was a pretty good day. Weather was great. This morning it was windy and chilly. I started out with this sun hoodie on. I didn't know if it was going to be enough, but as I started doing the climbs, it was enough. And I met Sam and Abe then, and they climbed with me to Macaffee Knob. And first part of that wasn't so terrible, but it was a gradual up for 4 miles. The last part, I just pretty much gutted it out. Slowed down. We made it up there. When I got to the top, I was really pushed. Just laid down a little bit and took a nap. I was even maybe a little lightheaded. So it's been a good day. It's been a successful day. I've done 2 of the Virginia Triple Crown. So the question is, can I make it to Daleville tomorrow night to meet Mrs. Grayson and another resupply? Or am I going to take 2 days to make that? If I did it like that, I would go 6, 7 tomorrow, and then maybe 8 or 9 into Daleville. I'm not exactly sure. It may be 5 or 6 to the next shelter. It's really, this thing about staying in designated camping spots is really a bummer, because it limits your options of what you can do. And so I have to go just a little bit beyond Daleville before that ban is lifted. I understand the reasoning for it. They say that this area, this section of trail between Daleville and back of Dragon's Tooth is the most used section of the AT period in Virginia. They estimate that over 90,000 people come through here and camp, and so a lot of people weren't respecting their surroundings and tearing things up, and so they put the restrictions in place to take care of the jerks, and then that affects people that wouldn't have done those kind of things. So that's my rant for today. Frustrated when I had some good rolling miles ahead of me here that I couldn't just do, get camel up and get some water and do 3 more miles and cut my day tomorrow to a manageable maybe 12 instead of a 15. But looks like what I'll do is I need to go now, and I spent some time making camp here and refactoring putting some new lines on my quilt to allow me to do this, and not my quilt, my tarp. And so I've kind of spent some time doing that. I need to go. It's a fair hike to water. I need to hike down and get myself some water for tonight and tomorrow morning, and make some supper. And if I have enough cell coverage, may try to post a video. It seems like it comes and goes, so I don't know if I do or not, even though I can see the suburbs of Roanoke from where I'm sitting right now. I guess the cell phone towers aren't placed at the right place, or I don't have the right carrier. Anyway, so that's a long and rambling wrap up for day what is it, day 20, I'm losing track. I'll tell you here in a second. Day 27. So wrap up for day 27. So it seems like a long time. Actually, this is my 6th straight day on the trail without. I've slept at a hostel, but I didn't take any zeros. I'm going to be on the trail again tomorrow. That'll be a week. Then I'm planning to do a number of more days. I just need to keep knocking out my 10s and 12s to try to take some chunks out of this trail. So I think if I looked right, I think I'm getting close to, with the miles I did in the Shenandoahs, I'm getting close to 200 miles on trail, which is getting close to 10%. So it is a big job, and it has to be done one day at a time. So thanks for sticking with you. I know some of you have asked if I'm okay because I haven't been posting videos up, and that's just because I don't have cell coverage. I was at a hostel last night, no Wi-Fi, and not enough cell coverage to post a video. I posted up a couple of Facebook posts to get current with that, but I couldn't have posted a video. Didn't have enough time, and so anyway, thanks for your concern, but I'm alive and well, and the videos will be coming. They'll be just delayed a little bit, so hey, it's just par for the course. And I knew that we'd have issues like that, and I'll probably still have issues going forward. So post when I can. Love taking you along with me, showing me the photos, actually making videos each night. It's kind of a highlight of my day. I get to go back through, listen to what I talked about, and show you the pictures that I've taken. And so it's kind of a highlight, and I know that it's a connection with a lot of friends. So thanks for being here. Okay, tonight's meal is chili. I don't know if you can see it in the bag there or not. This is chili I made dehydrated. I made it vegetarian, and then I added freeze-dried sausage and freeze-dried cheddar cheese, and it is wonderful. If you happen to be watching Lori Silva used this recipe at Winter Bible School and gave it to me, and I made a couple of batches of it. And when I saw this in my bag, I thought, this is a treat I need for tonight. So I'm really enjoying it. It's just like eating chili at home. These meals I've made, most of them are so much better than what you can get commercially that it's just hard. It's hard to eat the other kind. But anyway, special treat. So since I'm at a designated campsite tonight, one of the things you need to do is proper food storage. Normally I have a bear-proof bag that I tie to a tree, but tonight we have a bear locker, and this bear locker basically is bear-proof. You see the instructions here. Bear can't get their paws in there. So tonight I'm going to store all my food and any scentables like toothpaste or those kind of things in here in the bear locker, and that keeps the bears wild and keeps them from getting my food. So it's really nice when shelters have these, either a bear locker or some of them have bear poles. A bear pole, you just take your bag and they hang it up like on a 15-foot pole. So you take all your food and you get it and you hang it up on this pole, and then you retrieve it in the morning. So just one of the tasks, especially in areas like I'm in now that are heavily trafficked. They often have a lot of bear problems because there are a lot of people that do dumb things like leave food lay. And so when they do that, they get bears that get acclimated to nice, sugary, sweet things that we like to eat, and then they become nuisance bears. So tonight it's really nice to have
a bear locker, and I think that really concludes the end of my day. I keep thinking that's what it is, but this is day 27 signing out. Just had that chili meal. I topped it off with a Lara bar. I had a couple of other snacks. I have extra food in my bag, and I figured I may as well eat it as carry it. So I'm pretty full tonight and getting ready to hunker down here for a night in the hammock.